Hi, my name is Julianne, and today I will be discussing When We Wake by Karen Healey. My initial thoughts just right off the bat is that this book is really, really good. It's probably one of the best futuristic sci-fi dystopian novels I've ever read. It blew me away. I was not expecting it to be as amazing as it was. And my rating of this book would be a 3 on my scale. So what this book is about is there's this girl, Tegan, who in the year 2017 gets shot and they freeze her body, and then 100 years later, when the technology is better, they wake her up. So imagine you get shot, you think you're dead, and then 100 years later you wake up. So that's pretty much like the initial that's like the basic synopsis of it. I just want to say right off the bat is like the technology that this lady threw in this book was so freaking cool, okay? Like, this was pretty much a computer. You can crumple it up and put it in your pocket. That's how like small the computers became, okay? This earring, right, would be like a phone, an actual phone. Like, the technology was just so cool to read about. Like, it was so crazy. And the author, like, obviously, like, put so much time into this because she literally made up slang. She made up the different cultures that would come about, like, 100 years later. How the environment would be, how the climate would be. Like, just, like, seriously, this lady, like, Karen Healey, I keep calling her this lady, but Karen Healey, you can tell she took the time and effort for this book because it's so intricately like laid out with the technology and the culture and the slang and all of that stuff. It's really cool, and this is a really diverse book. Like, it's really diverse, so I really appreciated that because I like diversity in characters. So like the plot line is pretty cool. It's like, it's really interesting because a lot of the book is like just learning kind of about what the future is, which, by the way, is like, to me, like, I would not be surprised if this was the future, because it was done so well that it almost feels like realistic. Like, it feels so realistic, as realistic as, the future can sound like. And so, like, none of this technology or whatever sounds like it can't be done. Like, it feels like if someone put their mind to it, they could make it happen. By the way, this takes place in Australia, and I read majority of my books take place in the United States, so it's nice to read about a book that takes place outside of my own country. There is also a plot line with the government being shady, because dystopian. So, shady government, so that's really interesting to read about. I don't want to go into too much details because I don't want to, like, spoil you guys, but I think it'd just be interesting to kind of go into this a little bit more blind. The characters were really interesting to read about. I like Tegan, and I really felt for her because at the beginning of the book she has like a boyfriend. They just got together, it was only been like a day, and then she gets shot. So like, and when she wakes up she finds out that her friend and her boyfriend, her family, like, they lived their lives out and then they died. So they thought she was dead the entire time. So I really felt for her because, like, she missed her family, like, so much, and this, like, she can't ever, like, be with them because they're dead. That was, like, really heartbreaking to read about. I like books that kind of break that fourth wall barrier and they're talking at you. So this book, it was kind of like being talked at, but there was, like, a specific reason, which I won't say what that reason is just because I want to keep this as spoiler free as possible, and I think it'd be interesting to just go into it, and when you find out because she's not necessarily talking to the audience, like readers nowadays, but there's a specific like group of people she's talking to, which you will find out, but I don't want to go into too much details because I think it'd be interesting to just find out on your own and just be like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. There's a lot of intrigue too as you go through, because you're like, because I would say it, but I can't. But there's a lot of intrigue as you're going along. The government's doing shady things, so you're like, what is going on with them? Why is certain things happening? Again, don't want to spoil. I also really liked her friend, whose name I can't remember. I liked the guy that she made friends with in class. The characters are really cool and interesting and diverse and so complex and so interesting. There is a love story, which I actually kind of liked. I just don't like when the kiss happens. Like, certain things are going on that I feel like they should have been paying more attention to that and not sucking face. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. I just really love this book. Really cool, really awesome. Should totally read it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just, it's called When We Wake, and I think it's part of a trilogy. See you in my next video, and bye. Yeah?
Go to the table.
Okay, I'll be there in a second.
No, do it now.
Okay, hold on one second.